You deprive your brain of oxygen when you do this. Perhaps you'll hemorrhage yourself. Perhaps you'll end up brain dead. You'll incapacitate yourself that you're going to be without the ability to speak. You do this and then you get out there and it happens again. Is because you picked up a new case and you picked up yet another possession or use of an abusable volatile. I don't even know what happened because today is the day set for arraignment on this case. What happened on the new case, if you don't mind?
Do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah, please, because I've not even heard it to know what happened.
Yeah. Okay. I also spoke to the witness yesterday, so I can tell you my notes.
Great.
But on October 17th of 2024, officers responded to a call regarding a welfare check at the Dollar Tree located at 14324 FM 2920. A witness stated she observed the defendant inhaling from a can of multi-purpose cleaning duster and later observed the defendant slumped over on the steering wheel of her motor vehicle in the parking lot. Upon officers' arrival, officer observed the defendant sitting in the front driver's seat of her motor vehicle with the motor vehicle running in the on position. Officer also observed several cans of multi-purpose cleaning duster beside her. Officer observed the defendant to be confused and disoriented. She admitted that she had entered the office depot to purchase several cans of duster with the intent to inhale chemicals in a manner contrary to the directions, cautions, or warnings appearing on the label. And the defendant stated she did so to create or induce a condition of intoxication, hallucination, or elation. And she was found in possession of 3 10-ounce cans and 1 3.5-ounce can.
Is there anything else that you wanted to add to this?
Me, Judge? So the witness who spotted her, she had pulled into the Dollar Tree, parked there, and the defendant's motor vehicle was right next to hers, and she had noticed that it was on. So the witness, she went into the Dollar Tree, then went down to Target, did some shopping, came back an hour later and noticed that the truck was still there and still running. So she got worried, looked through the window, and she found the defendant slumped over. She stayed watching her for a while to make sure she was okay. She didn't feel comfortable driving off. That's when the witness saw her lift her head up slowly and inhale from the can again in front of the witness. And my witness, she told me, and then she slumped back down, and that's when the witness called 911 because she was worried about the defendant driving off in that condition.
I've spoken extensively with Ms. Stepanski about this, Your Honor.
You said the exact same thing to me when we came here the first time, and now she has a new case.
Yes. True statement, Your Honor.
How do we get her to stop?
Well, in talking to the state, so the plea agreement that we have agreed to with the state is the maximum length of probation, the 2 years of probation. So that she'll be closely monitored during that time period.
I can't monitor her 24 hours a day, though.
Yeah, but she knows that she's, subject to, random testing or urinalysis and different things.
Still not going to show. I'm forbidding you from going to any store that sells this kind of stuff. You're not to go to any Walmart. You're not going to any Home Depot.
So she's also willing to sign a no driving affidavit, Your Honor, and so only her husband would be driving her anywhere. And so I think that her husband threatened her to divorce. I just me being frank, over this. If this ever happens again, her husband's divorcing her, is what he's told her, and is going to be closely monitoring her, and she's not driving by herself.
You realize that what you're doing is you deprive your brain of oxygen when you do this, and at some point perhaps you'll hemorrhage yourself, perhaps you'll end up brain dead, you'll incapacitate yourself that you're going to be unable to without the ability to speak. But you do this and then you get out there and it happens again.
It scared me so much this time. And
I believe it. I believe it. I don't believe one iota. Nope. You sold me the same thing.
I'm
Just
currently
months ago.
attending NA meetings, which I will continue to attend.
I think that, like I said, the combination of her not being able to drive to be able to go get this stuff and her husband helping to monitor that and the enforcement of the 2 years of probation and making sure that she knows that, you know, she's under
I have a sponsor.
surveillance, that I don't think it will continue to be a problem. I think that when there's been monitoring, there hasn't been a problem. This was, again, this is just me kind of pulling back the curtain there because we're entering a plea.
Mr. Haddad, how do we get it to stop?
This is, man, I'm sorry, Judge, if I could just finish that thought for a second.
Look, I'm all ears
Yes, sir.
with any recommendation as how to get it to stop, because I mean, it's not something that I can test that'll show whether someone's using or not.
Judge, at this point, I mean, I was hoping that the TRS would recommend something such as like HUA, that's like a intensive treatment made for women, that's,
You know, it's, I mean, yeah,
I'm thinking HUA might be a good place to put it.
Figure out what the TRS is kind of.
Right.
I think that that's the best thing that we need to do. Yeah, I think that,
But my opinion, Your Honor, is that the no driving affidavit will cover or will fix the problem. This was when as soon as she started to drive, basically it became the problem. You know, when the husband said, okay, you can drive, then she went to the store and did that. But without her being able to drive, and like I said, you know, the husband making sure that that's not happening, because again, he's not tolerating any of
is
this.
the husband here?
He is not here today, but I can get him here if you'd like, Judge.
I mean, I think, Michael, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think what we need to do now, and Craig, I think what we need to do now is have our TRAS to see where we go, because we have clinicians that will be able to tell us how to tackle this problem, because I'm truly at a loss of how to get it to stop, because theoretically, this is something that you can get anywhere, right? You can have it delivered through Amazon, right? So,
Sure, but that hasn't been her MO of doing any of this. I understand you. I hear your words.
she's been able to drive.
I understand.
Right.
Well, she wasn't able to drive for a while after this happened or whatnot, and then it wasn't a problem. And then when driving resumed, then that resumed being a problem. So that's why I think
People know that for
the no
sure.
driving affidavit would fix that.
Ms. Brown?
I mean, I've explained to her that, you know, what she's signing up for, you know, is a lengthy probation. It's a 2-year probation with potential constant monitoring that whole time, plus whatever TRS conditions and other kind of help that they can, you know, help her with. And then, you know, that if she messes up in probation, that she signed up for, you know, 180 days in jail, you know, that's, you know, what she's understanding. I know that when she was in jail, she spent 3 days in jail on this new offense or whatever. And I know that that was a pretty devastating experience for her. She's, you know, 65 years old and, you know, takes a ton of medicines, which she didn't get and stuff when she was in jail. And I know that was a big deal. She's having panic attacks in jail and things. But I think the conditions that we've agreed to with the state are sufficient. I mean, I wouldn't have signed up for it.
I mean, I'd like to put on there no possession of any kind of volatile container that can be abused
That's
to get
fine.
high.
That's fine.
I would, you know, no going to Home or Office Depot, Walmart. Ma'am, I want you to understand that if I find you with another of these containers, and I don't care what you're doing, where you're going, who you're with, I'm going to put you in a rehab facility in the jail. And I mean, if that's what we need to do to get you to stop, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat. Do you understand? I mean, you're killing yourself slowly. That's all that's happening. And the problem is that everyone around you is suffering. What happens if you do this in the middle of the road while you're driving? I mean, God, if you kill someone, you get charged with murder. Is that the last thing we want you to do is to spend the next 30 years of your life in prison because of a drastic and catastrophic event where you kill someone. And in that kind of stupor, state, if you're in a car, you're begging for it to happen. Okay, so I guess I'd like to do the TRAS to see where we go. So what we're gonna do is I don't know how to move forward with this, Ms. Stefanski. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you evaluated by our clinicians to see what they suggest is the best way to go forward. So I'm gonna have you meet with them, and I want you to be honest, because I want to move forward in the best way possible. If you're not honest with them, a motion to revoke can be filed. We'll put you in custody and we'll do it next time in custody. I don't want to have to do that. So be honest in the evaluation. Be honest with yourself. I'm now taking away your privilege to drive for a year. You're not allowed to drive. You're not allowed to use be in possession of any kind of container where you can get high from it. And I don't want you to go to any Office Depot. I don't want you to go Walmart or any of these places that you can also buy these from. You understand?
Sir.
It's 180 days in jail, probated for 2 years. You will do thinking for a change, a DWI education class, 2 victim impact panels, a TRAS, with the conditions you must fulfill: substance abuse treatment, no breath test refusal, no drugs, no alcohol, guardian interlock so that we know that you're also not consuming alcohol, and a one-time donation of $100 to Matt. Is this how you understand the agreement?
Yes, sir.
I think the max is a year, right? On the first, it's a year.
For probation, you mean?
Yeah. For license suspension, I think the max is a year. I mean, if it was 2 years, if I can do 2, I'd rather do 2, because I think that I just don't want you to go anywhere near a car until this problem has been tackled. Do you understand, man? Do you have any questions?
Certainly.
There are other things in life that give you that kind of rush instead of using a can. You need to find another outlet, but cans, that's not a good way to go, because you're really going to sue some irreparable damage the last thing you need is to become a vegetable. And that's what invariably it's going to happen at one point or the other. How do you plead to the offense, Mr. Stefanski? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty. I will send you the agreement. Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
Nothing else, Ron.
Michael, anything else, guys?
No, just the other 2 cases.
Okay, so as a part of the agreement is this DWI, they're going to dismiss your other 2 inhalant paraphernalia cases as well, okay? All right, man, wish you best of luck. We'll have you do the TRAS, and then I guess just give me a heads up when you do it, will you? And then, Craig, I'm going to reach out to you so when we get it back, I'll let you know what it is. That way,
That's not,
that you know as well. They may say inpatient, I don't know.
right, and you understand that. They could
Understand
give
that.
you inpatient treatment.
All right, man,
We don't know.
best of
Depends
luck.
on what they feel like is appropriate.
See you soon.
Thank you for the chance, sir.
Watch this. The judge doesn't just scold. She's sounding an alarm. Legally, what we just witnessed is a classic courtroom triage. Conviction. A stiff set of probation conditions. License suspension. Ignition interlock. Mandatory treatment. Testing and the threat of jail if probation is violated. But beyond the checklist, there's a human crisis. Inhalant abuse is fast, cheap, and brutally effective at destroying someone's brain and potentially other lives on the road. The judge. Fury isn't theatrical, it's practical. She's weighing public safety against a person who keeps returning to the exact behavior that could cause a catastrophic crash. If you're watching, ask yourself, do you side with the judge's zero-tolerance posture, or with a treatment-first approach that some clinicians push for? It's not either or. The court is trying to thread the needle. Restrict access. No driving. No stores that sell the product. Mandate treatment, the T evaluation. And attach real consequences. 180 days suspended. 2 years supervision. Those consequences are meant to deter. But deterrence only works if monitoring is meaningful and support, not just punishment, is available. Emotionally, this is gutting. The defendant is older, medicated, and clearly terrified of jail and clearly terrified of jail. Losing her marriage. The judge is visibly exhausted. You can feel the "I don't believe you," not as a rhetorical flourish, but as the last resort of someone who's run out of options in the courtroom. that tension. Accountability versus compassion. Accountability versus compassion is why cases like this divide viewers and why they make compelling courtroom drama. Now do you think the conditions the judge imposed will actually stop this behavior? Or will they just delay the next incident? If this stunned you, smash that like, drop your verdict in the comments, treatment, punishment. Both, and subscribe for more courtroom breakdowns where we pull legal strategy and moral complexity apart, line by line.